He's a really good horse, exceptionally good looking, and fast.
Lord Nelson is just a picture type. He's got a beautiful neck and shoulder. He's got a nice hip. He's really strong.
Extremely fast. He's very well balanced. This horse is just an incredible fighter. He's mentally tough. His constitution is just iron. He's as tough, I think, as they make horses.
Hi everybody, welcome to Keeneland Babies, presented by Spendthrift. I'm Dan Illman along with Nicole Russo. Let's throw up the field for the second division of 2-year-old filly maiden special weights at beautiful Keeneland on Thursday. Race number 4, of course, at 4.5 furlongs. Approximate post time is 2:45. Our sponsor Spendthrift is represented by their stallion Cross Traffic, sire of the number 10, Crossing Alaska. Wesley Ward as the 1 Abyssinian, the 2 Athens Queen, but there's a little bit of everything in this race. Marcassi with a Japanese-bred Power Gal, Sexyama for the Sharp Joe Sharp barn. But we're going to start with Wesley Ward has the first 2 horses in the gate. We'll begin with the number 1 Abyssinian. This is a $70,000 yearling by the first crop stallion, Cairo Prince. Let's talk about Cairo Prince.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for this race because we're seeing the first starters for 2 first crop sires in Cairo Prince and Will Take Charge, who have been very, very well regarded at each checkpoint with their first weanlings, their first yearlings at sales, their first 2-year-olds. I've gone out and looked at a lot of these horses as they've kind of developed commercially, and I've really watched them develop and turn into nice horses. Cairo Prince, you have to be excited about. He was a graded winner himself as a 2-year-old. I do think that people think these horses will run early and will continue to develop. It was really fascinating to watch commercially because he really started to, kind of get some buzz, get some notice in 2015 as a young stallion when, of course, you had American Pharaoh, 5 Pioneer of the Nile, out there running his championship season. I think people saw Cairo Prince as kind of a more bargain entry point into that line with some of the stud fees, with some of the yearling prices. But, people love these horses. They really love how they've developed. And I think in the hands of Wesley Ward, this one is a chance to get his sire off to a very good start.
Lots to like, not only the connections, obviously, Wesley Ward, but the first 2 dams were graded stakes placed as 2-year-olds, and our clockers really like that last workout out of the gate on April the 10th. Consider purchasing the Clocker Report, available now on drf.com. Ward also has the number 2 Athens Queen, and Athens Queen's by Majestic Warrior, a rock-solid sire of 2-year-old debut runners, winning 13% of the time with those types. The dam was pretty good. Stakes placed dirt sprinter. She earned an 86 Beyer top, and it looks like that April 3rd workout came in company with Odie, who ran second for Ward in a pretty good race earlier this meet. I'm expecting some good things for Athens Queen. It looks like some of those Turfway works came in company with Stillwater Dew, a debut winner for Wesley earlier this meet. So maybe this is the surprise package of the 2 Ward trainees.
Yeah, as we've said all along with these races, you're going to have to watch the board. Athens Queen 5-1 on the morning line compared to stablemate Abyssinian. Majestic Warrior, that kind of, we'll talk about another one in here, kind of one of those rare sons of the AP Indy who was best around 1 turn, scored his signature triumph in the Hopeful as a 2-year-old, so a grade 1 winner at 2 from the line. So really fascinating to me that he's, followed on so well with producing these good debut runners. And Odie, who you mentioned, the workmate to this one, was second to a very well-regarded war horse at Hargis, who could be headed to Royal Ascot now. So a lot to like here with Athens Queen.
The third is Tappa's Dream. Tappa's Dream is by Tappa's Czar. The 3rd dam was a grade 2 stakes winner, Snitch. He was a pretty nice horse. But I look at the more immediate family, and I'm thinking turf and distance.
Yeah, and I do think the Tapazars are going to be at their best at middle distances, as their sire was. Winner of the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, could stretch that speed a little bit longer. But Tappas are developing into a very good son of course, leading sire Tappa. He's got Monomoy Girl out there on the Kentucky Oaks Trail right now, who has showed a lot of speed and had terrific 2-year-old form. But yeah, combining this with the female family, and I do think Tappa's Dream will want to go a bit longer.
The number 4 is Boom Boom Gone. This is a daughter of Girolamo, only sold for $2,000 as a yearling, but has a nice page. The dam, a full sister to Thunder Birdie, a graded stakes winner as a 2-year-old. The second dam, All the Way Birdie, a classy multiple stakes winner that also won her 2-year-old debut. So speed on the bottom of this pedigree, light work tab.
Yeah, light work tab. And, you know, Girolamo, another son of AP, who is maybe at his best around turn. You would think that would play well in this market, but Girolamo kind of quiet as a sire. This one didn't offer very much as a yearling and a later yearling. And Girolamo was reported after a few years, now standing overseas. So, I mean, never really got on here.
Some fast workouts on display for the number 5, Analyze This Cat, who goes out for trainer John Hancock, who does well with 2-year-old first-time starters. This one sold for $25,000 as a yearling. There's speed in this family. Overanalyze has done very, very well. 18% winners with 2-year-old debut runners. The dam was a debut winner sprinting as a 2-year-old. The second dam, a full to Bonaparte, who is a grade 1 stakes winner sprinting. So this filly looks really interesting from a pedigree perspective.
Yeah, Bonaparte, you mentioned, wow, was he tough as nails. Overanalyzed was among last year's leaders in a very competitive class of freshman sires by whatever measure you use. Earnings, winners, stakes winners, DRS, buyer sire performance standing numbers. Just did very well with his 2-year-olds and his early runners. Brumer Sire Wildcat Air was so good in the Florida market, which really values precocity, speed, and their young horses. And Analyze This Cat coming off a bullet work, and a bullet work going 4 furlongs at that, which I like here at Keeneland.
Holiday Bid is the number 6. This is a daughter of Smart Bid, who sold for $3,000 as a yearling. I look at this pedigree and I think longer distances and alternative surfaces such as synthetic or turf. The dam did win the career debut, but I believe it was around 2 turns, and she is a full to Dynamic Holiday, who wanted longer distances.
Yeah, and you know, Smart Bid, I really like him as a stallion very much. The son of Smart Striking Outstanding in New York. But yeah, Smart Bid was just a long-winded, very tough horse, and I expect him to throw the same. I expect his runners to really want much more ground.
The 7 is Baytown Lindy. This is the only filly in the race with prior racing experience. She started on April the 8th, and she actually took a little bit of money at 12-1 that day in an 11-horse field. I thought she showed some good speed after being brushed at the start. She saved ground in behind the leaders, and then she was a little bit green in the stretch. She didn't change leads, but I thought it was all in all a promising performance running to those 2 bullet workouts preceding the race.
Yeah, I think it was a positive experience for her. Went out, faced a little bit of racing adversity, and, you know, didn't throw in the towel immediately. You know, held her ground before just weakening late, you know, kind of all of the day catching up to her a bit. You know, so I do look for horses like that to move forward a little bit off experiences like that.
The number 8 is Power Gal, bred in Japan by Belmont Stakes winner Empire Maker. Wins 10% with 2-year-old debut runners in North America. The dam was grade 1 stakes placed on turf, grade 2 stakes placed on synthetic, and there's just a lot of black type and class in this pedigree. Power Gal goes out for the very strong Mark Cassie barn.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the Cassie barn does sometimes need a race or two for these horses to really come with their best. That being said, Power Gal, when she shifts up from the Cassie Training Center in Florida, threw it down in her first local work at Keeneland at the end of March, although her lone work since, I believe she was second best of 50 at the distance with a very strong half-mile work. At 5-1 on the morning line, she might offer a little bit of value at this group.
We're filming this race prior to Wednesday's Keeneland Baby race, which features a Joe Sharp first-time starter named Vow Me Now. Vow Me Now's workmate, the number 9, Sexyama, is in Thursday's 4th race. Another daughter of Cairo Prince. This one was actually offered at OBS March, bought back for $55,000 after breezing a furlong in 10-1. But Sexyama is a half-sister to a 2-year-old debut winner, and if Vow Me Now runs well on Wednesday, maybe you can upgrade Sexyama's chances.
Definitely. I would definitely say so. This another one coming off a strong 4-furlong local work here at Keeneland for the Sharp Barn. I really do love when you see a 4-furlong work on a 2-year-old cab as opposed to, the more typical 3-furlong work. It indicates that the horse is maybe a little bit more physically mature, able to handle something like that, which I think bodes well for these, 4.5-furlong, very early season 2-year-old races. The trainer and jockey combination has been very good this Keeneland meet. And again, Cairo Prince, they are expected to run and run well early.
The 10 is Crossing Alaska by Spendthrift Stallion Cross Traffic. This is Cross Traffic's first crop. Again, we're filming this before Wednesday's 2-year-old race. It looked like that March 15th workout went in company with James Chapman's Dustin Brown, who will be making her debut on Wednesday. If that filly exceeds expectations, maybe upgrade Crossing Alaska. But let's talk about Cross Traffic.
Yeah, Cross Traffic, a Grade 1 winning son of Unbridled Song. Of course, we've talked about the Unbridled line being so good in recent years. Stallions like Pioneer of the Nile, Empire Maker, Unbridled Song, of course, the sire of a couple of posthumous champions that Will Take Charge, Arrogate, Forever Unbridled. Unbridled Song hasn't really had that terrific son at stud to carry on for his branch of the line yet. Cross Traffic leads his first 2-year-olds, and it's been pointed out by many that some of Unbridled Song's best sons, including this Grade 1 winner, are just coming to stud now. So I really do expect to see this branch of the line to really kind of liven it up in upcoming years.
The number 11, Lights, Camera, Action, a first-time starter, and the first starter by the very classy Will Take Charge. And this is Dam is a half-sister to Cross Traffic. So this is a very strong family, although I wonder if this pedigree is really geared towards success at 4.5 furlongs at 2.
Right. You do look at the pedigree and you do think, they're perhaps going to need the time to develop. Will Take Charge, of course, kind of came out at Keeneland. The fall meet of his 2-year-old year develops throughout the spring and summer of his 3-year-old year to really race into his best form over the summer and fall and be a champion by year's end. Will Take Charge, son of Unbridled Song. The Unbridled Song line obviously crosses well with the female family to produce Cross Traffic. I do think that this one is going to be at her best with a little bit of experience under her belt. That being said, Will Take Charge, the way they have responded to these horses commercially in this market, tells me that people think that they will run well. They're strapping, imposing physical individuals. I'm really looking forward to starting to get a look at some of these horses on the track.
Northern Beauty completes the body of this field. Jose Ortiz takes them out for Ben Colebrook, a daughter of prolific debut stallion Munnings. This one did breeze a furlong in 10-1 before being bought back for $95,000 at March. The Dam, a debut winner at 2, was stakes place sprinting, so there is some precocity here. She's going to have to hustle from this outside post.
Yeah, definitely. I think she should come equipped with some speed. I like that Jose Ortiz is aboard her for the Ben Colebrook barn, which does very well. The sire Munnings, as we mentioned, does very well with his 2-year-olds. The Dam, a daughter of Indy and Charlie, and I love everything from that line. Indy and Charlie just throws athletes, certainly sired horses who could run well at 2. Northern Beauty going to have to work out the trip, but has a rider aboard who can certainly do that and could pick up a piece of this.
Let's take a look at our top selections for race number 4 at Keeneland on Thursday. It's obviously a tough race. You've got 2 wards. The John Hancock course looks interesting. Power Gal, of course, from the Cassie barn. You've got the first crops of Cairo Prince, Cross Traffic, Will Take Charge. Lots of options. Where are you going?
Gosh, this is a race. I think it's so interesting and well matched. I am going to start my handicapping by looking at Wesley Ward's 2 horses down towards the inside there, seeing where the crowd goes with them. If they go with Athens Queen, who, as you mentioned, was working very well in company with the nice horse, or if they go to Abyssinian, who has Joel Rosario aboard. I'm going to be watching that. And I'm going to be doing, honestly, with this race, a lot of paddock handicapping. As I mentioned, these first crop sires, Cairo Prince, Will Take Charge. They've thrown really nice physical horses who might run early. I'm going to go get a look at these horses in the paddock and see if they look like early running types or if they look like horses who are going to need a race or two to be at their best.
I prefer the Ward Duo. I prefer Athens Queen, the 2, slightly over the 1, Abyssinian. I think Power Gal will run well. Maybe she'll need a race like a lot of the Cassie first-time starters want to do. And I thought Baytown Lindy got some experience in that debut. Another minor award could certainly be there for the number 7. So I'll go 2, 1, 8, and 7 in race number 4 at Keeneland, the second of 2 Keeneland baby races presented by Spendthrift.